Viewers, welcome back. Guess what? Steve 2.0. So that means we're actually gonna get some shit done today. We are going to try to tear down the KA. We've already mocked this up in the car. You guys have seen me build engine mounts. We have a trans mount that's gonna work. We're gonna split the trans from the engine, get the engine on a stand over by the workbench, and we are gonna tear the thing down in prepping for, I don't know, regasketing. I just wanna make sure that this engine is good to go. I know that it was set up for turbo before I got it a long time ago. So we're gonna pull the head, check the pistons over at least from the top. I'm not gonna pull the bottom end apart, but we just wanna make sure it turns over, there's no mechanical damage. There you go. Oh, it was the input shaft, or yep, input shaft. These little 4-cylinders are so much nicer to move around.
Much lighter.
Yeah. I mean, even so, this KA, this is an iron block. This thing is not light. Like, I think it took 2 of us to lift it into the back of the car.
Oh yeah. Just to lift it off the engine stand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's heavy. Good for boost. Love that KA.
Those are the ones that were in the Spider, yeah.
The Spider Crab. Whatever it is.
Spider Crab.
You guys have seen the Family Guy episode, Spider Pig, right? That's what it always makes me think of. Spider Pig, Spider Pig. Don't worry, here at build season, we're always all about safety. Never do anything weird or sketchy. You didn't hear me say that. This isn't the bent engine stand, is it? Got a smaller tub of the pretzels, but you guys know the drill. So I think we'll start by peeling off the valve cover. Maybe we'll take off the alternator. Anything else accessory that's on the front or the side of the engine, we might pull it off just so that we can get in here. I really want to clean this up and paint the block because it looks gross. That's all. So the valve cover should come right off. I think it's loose. Just quick release. Okay, maybe I lied.
Just vibrated a thread or two into place.
The little KA is shaking in its boots sitting next to that 304 over there. This little engine's getting nervous, so it shakes like a chihuahua. First, we gotta pull the front dress off. So with the KA, it has an upper timing cover. Also, I would like to mention, never torn one of these down before. Can't be that much more different than any of the other JDM or Japanese engines, but I've never messed with one. So you may see me take some stuff apart in the wrong order. And if it is,
It'll be fine.
one of you guys let me know, because historically our commenters have been really, really helpful with stuff that we've missed in a constructive way. So that's been pretty cool. So do we pull the distributor out first? All right, so check this out. The KA, the crank bolt on a KA is a 27 millimeter. That's massive for this little bitty engine. That's a serious crank bolt. Pretty cool. Oh, this thing spins like a cream puff. Are you kidding me? This thing is likely fine. Wow. Where are you, timing mark? Unless there's more, but I don't think so. That's gotta be the timing mark. I could look this up. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this very well just because this balancer is pretty rusty, but KA balancers have, oh yeah, perfect, thanks. KA balancers have 6 little nicks in them. And what we found out is this first nick is 5 degrees before top dead center or after top dead center. Then this is at top dead center, the second notch. And then it's 5, 10, 15, and 20 degrees before top dead center, which is factory KA timing. Okay, so distributor's held in with 2 bolts, looks like, 2 10s. I don't know what it's gonna take to pull that off. Ta-da!
That was good. Pop.
Yeah, right? Good seal on there. Yeah, it's just an O-ring. There's an O-ring right at the top of the distributor. I always like to bag and tag all these random bolts, especially when we get into the engine, because this fastener, while you could go to the hardware store and get this, it would be so much easier if you just had the dang bolts that you took out. Put a label on that for distributor. And I know what you guys are thinking. You didn't do that in the Hornet video at all. You guys were looking for bolts all over the place.
We got like 50% of them.
Yeah, let the record show that at least half of those bolts made it into bags. But when we got impatient and it started to get nice outside, then we just put everything back.
Some of them were in bags with no labels. Some of them were in the bottom of bins.
Some of them got used on other engines. I don't know why. They did. All right, let's see. Next thing here is water neck. That's 310s, I think. Another one under here. Pop that with a hammer. Or just use your hand. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion in here, not too bad. This is an iron block though, that makes sense. Is there no thermostat in that? It appears not.
Yeah, I would say not.
Ladies and gents, I have heard that you should run a thermostat just because it slows the coolant down enough in the radiator to actually allow the radiator to do its job. If the water is moving too fast, it won't reject enough heat. Unless you use a dual pass radiator, I think that would work. There's like this wheeled shelving unit that I got for free from a friend of mine. It's all made out of angle iron, some homemade deal, but it works really nice. It's got casters on the bottom. And I wanted something just like this so that when I do engine teardowns and I have all these engine specific parts, I can put them in one spot. Water pump is probably all 10s, but no, the bigger one, 12s.
12, whatever that is.
Let's see if the little Makita's still got it. This thing serves me well, but it's a little tired. I mean, I've had this impact for, I think 15 years, and I have not been nice to it. This one's big enough.
This one's big enough. Yeah, it looks like there's some silicone or something in.
Ooh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, actually not as egregious use of silicone as I've seen. I've seen far worse. All right, just wanted to suck out as much of this. Oh, whoops, I touched it. Now there's a whole
Now there's more.
I mean, maybe I'm dreaming.
While you're hitting it, if we just put a pry bar with a little tension on either side.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Thing's heavier than you thought.
Yeah, it is. This is a serious piece of equipment here. Oh, well, pulled the whole crank pulley off because there's one bolt I forgot to take out. Oops. I bet you that would make it easier. I was wondering why that pulley would be so difficult to take apart. Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah, look at that. Pops right off. Leo is gonna have a lot of work to do. I have so much stuff for him to sandblast. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is go after the upper timing cover next. These KAs actually have 2 timing chains in them. This one actually feels a little loose right now, but I think that's because the crank may have walked backwards. Yeah, we're gonna need some more horsepower on that. There we go.
That's bad.
No, that wasn't bad. This thing doesn't have the breakaway torque. There's one right here too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's.
Is that just for the bolt? No, that goes into the head, I think.
And then I think you're gonna have to do these too.
Yep. Just pull off the upper timing cover. Right, it's just all those bolts you saw us pull out, and then give it a quick little pop with a mallet, and off she comes. So that'll be nice. We can get that cleaned up, maybe sandblasted, and spray with some new paint. Friction free. This one looks like a 14 down here. This guy. Oh, well, okay. It's loose.
Oh, really?
Concerning or not? I don't know.
Well, we didn't even have the top bolt in.
Oh, there is a keyed. Look at this keyed nut back here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Whoa, neat stuff. Yeah, look at this thing. It's a keyed nut, so that when you're tightening it or loosening it, this extra tab flying off the back here butts up against this bracket and allows you to tighten it without putting a wrench on it. All right, so we are gonna pull the lowing timer cover, whatever, right? Yeah, words. We do need some 12mm action too. Wow, there's a bunch of 12s. All right, Nissan guys, where do you pry on this? Oh, hang on. I do have one. So this nut, or this bolt that I thought I didn't have to pull out before, I actually do. In here and... Probably just sticky. Is there any bolts in the lower part of the oil pan? That's what it is.
Gasketing or silicone down there?
There is a good bit of silicone down here. Let's see here. All right, there might be something we missed. So we're gonna pull the pan off. All right, how hard is this gonna be? Glued on there as well? Yeah, she's glued on there good. Alright.
This is
oh God, look at it. That's so much silicone.
But you're right.
Oil pump pickup. Just so if you try to do this and you're not as smart as I was, oil pump and the pickup are bolted to the timing cover. Whoopsie. Alright, so things we learned. Number one, the oil pump of a KA is bolted to the inside of the lower timing cover. So in order to take that apart, you gotta pull the oil pan. Then you have to get that oil pump pickup out of the way. As I said before, do not do like I do if you remember or know how to work on these at all. Back after a quick break, we pull the tensioner off the upper timing chain. Okay, there you go, hydraulic tensioner. I mean, it looks okay, everything looks fine in this engine. It actually looks really nice, but you never know, you might need to replace it. I mean, kind of one of those, since you're in here, things, right? All right, 19 millimeter for distributor drive. That's a honker. And then it's 24 millimeter for the cam gears. So we're just using an adjustable crescent wrench on the cam itself. That way we can hammer out these massive cam gear bolts. All right, those are on there pretty good. Oh, okay. So it looks like that bolt holds the entire timing assembly in there, both upper and lower, huh? All right. Oh, that's the tensioner. Tensioners right here. Yeah, that's sucker. Gonna get new tensioners anyway. And there you go. It's the upper timing chain. Last thing here is the lower timing chain, guys. Okay, before I pull the cams out, this is the exhaust side cam, this is the intake cam. This one, I actually brake cleaned a little bit of the oil residue off, and I think you can see that on camera. This one is actually painted green, this one is painted yellow. I don't know if that's a factory thing or not, but I am gonna mark them E and I, that way we don't lose track of what cam is what. Anyway, I think to take these off, I'm gonna loosen the cam caps starting at the outside moving in. Okay, we're gonna quick blast the other cam out of here, and then we'll get to loosening the head bolts. We're gonna undo the head bolts. So I think same thing on these. We'll just start on the outside and kind of work our way in. These are at 10 millimeter hex, and geez, I hope that they come right off of there, huh? Let's go. How hard do you think it's going to be to pop this head off? Oh. There it goes. Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay. A little bit of rust in there. Upon closer inspection here, this right here is just a little bit of rust, corrosion. There's something from the water passages. So we're gonna suck all this up with the vacuum real quick, pull the head gasket off, and then crank this thing over a little bit and get a look at the cylinder walls and stuff. As you can see in here, there's just a little bit of rust. I think it's just from the water jackets and stuff, and this thing's sitting around. But for the most part, the pistons all look good, at least the tops from what I can see here. Right? I can't see much else, but I want to wipe out the cylinder walls and get a better view. This thing actually looks okay to me. So it appears that this KA was probably in decent shape before I got it. But this is the first time that we've seen it apart. So wanted to, you know, send some cleaner through here or whatever, at least wipe off the tops of the pistons and check the cylinders. But I don't know if you can see down in the cylinder at all. I mean, yeah, there's just not even really a ring ridge or anything. Just a little bit of discoloration here where the piston comes up, but for that top ring, I mean. The pistons themselves look okay though. We're gonna run a little bit of oil down each bore and then roll this thing over a couple times just to check each cylinder, make sure that they all look okay. But at this point, I think all the pistons look fine, so unless we see something egregious in one of the cylinders, I'm thinking we're probably fine. I wanted to show the cylinder head here too. You guys can see here, other than obviously there's a little bit of corrosion in here, and this engine must have been running a little bit rich. I think boosted KAs almost always run rich, unless they're tuned really well. So all the valves, at least the faces of the valves, all look good to me. There's a little bit of graphite gasket left here from the head gasket, but otherwise everything else in the head looks pretty good. You guys have seen the top of it already. This head might just get a quick cleanup job. I may clean the gasket surfaces and spray a little bit of oil on the back of a couple of these valves, because there is a little bit of rust just from sitting. I think that's all that is in there. But otherwise, yeah, cylinder head looks good. All right, so this thing rolled over really good before. So throw some oil in here, clean them up a little bit, roll it over a couple more times. I mean, this thing rolls over really nice. I don't know, every used engine we've ever bought, right? You always end up learning something about it, where you're like, oh shit, it has a bad crank or a bad cam or something. So I think we've proven that the bottom end at least seems good. So I'm just going through and wiping loose carbon and stuff off of the tops of the pistons, cleaning them a little bit. Thanks, Ryan Hicks. This engine's awesome. Appreciate it. I don't know if you guys can see this really well. You can see a little bit of the brighter colored stuff there. If you keep rubbing at this, I don't know if you guys can see, but that piston is getting brighter because the carbon is just coming right off the top of the piston. So I think this thing was running okay when it was last together. I think the next thing we're gonna do is finish kind of cleaning these up, wiping them out with a little bit of PB Blast or WD-40 just to get some oil in the cylinder bores. All right, so what would you say, 5-10 minutes with a little bit of PB Blaster and a Scotch-Brite just to knock all that corrosion off at the top of the pistons there. Went over the cylinder head surface with a wire wheel really lightly, and then a piece of 600 grit sandpaper on a sanding block. We just went right across the top here just to kind of knock off any remaining pieces of that gasket. Yep, I'm not going to clean this up any better than this. In fact, I think if this thing ends up making too much boost, I want the head gasket to pop. A lot of guys will do kinetic head gaskets when they put these back together, which is a multi-layer steel, and the factory gasket is graphite. I actually think I'm going to go with the graphite because if anything happens with this block, I'd rather have a head gasket blow than have this thing hold on for dear life and bend a rod or poke a hole in a piston. So that's what I'm gonna say. I think what we're gonna do now is flip the engine over, put the oil pan back on, wire wheel the whole block, get this nice and clean, then we're gonna take it outside and paint it. All right. Just backwards. Front sump. Man, can you tell we're used to working on V8s? I'm trying to put the sump at the back of the engine. Okay, just need a couple of bolts and get this thing tight.
Which bag has the oil pan bolts?
Bag and tag method is awesome if you have problems with short-term memory. All right, here it is. Fresh out of the machine shop. Just got it back. They decked the block for us, put a hole on the cylinders. Just kidding. That's what 30 minutes of wire wheeling and half of a can of DE 1635 will do. So it's still a little bit shiny. It's gonna dry to be satin, just like this. You guys remember what this looks like. So that's what this is gonna be. Steve, thank you so much for your help today, man. Say hi everybody, that's Steve 2.0. Yeah, comment down below if you wanna see more videos done by Steve or you want Steve in these videos. I mean, that's probably the truth. I'm gonna order a gasket kit for this thing really soon, probably today or tomorrow. We'll get a rear main seal, new front end stuff. I may order a new timing set just because. Then I think we'll put everything back together with the gaskets that come in the kit. Nothing's fancy, nothing special. We will probably clean up and paint the oil pan as well as the cylinder head. Once the KA is ready to go, we're gonna bolt it back up to the transmission with the clutch, and then we're gonna put it in the car, hopefully for the first time, for the last time. So, viewers, thanks a lot for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. Thank you so much, it's been a blast. See you in the next one.